In the headlines, military overruns terrorist enclaves in Borno, kills scores. Fire guts Ifako-Ijaiye General Hospital. Osun residents protest against Ibadan disco over alleged manipulation. And on the foreign scene, Gabon's oust President Bongo flies to Angola with family. Hello, welcome to News Update on Trust Television. I am Lilian Ogazi. And now to the news. Troops of the Nigerian military attached with Northeast Operation Hadinkai have avenged the killings of their colleague by overrunning notorious hideouts of criminals in the Sambisa forest. It was learned the troops who were mandated to reinforce more aggressive officers in response to colleagues' killing targeted the strongholds of the terrorists in Garin Malamali, Garin Gulkos and Ukuba. On Wednesday, no fewer than 4 soldiers were killed by the suspected Boko Haram terrorists who launched coordinated attacks on 3 military bases in Ran, Gajiram and Dikwa in Borno State. Security and local sources confirmed that all the attacks happened in the early hours of Tuesday, stating that the insurgents lost many fighters in Dikwa and Gajiram, where the military repelled their attacks. Sources within the military revealed that the operation, which lasted more than 6 hours, commenced at about 6 a.m. on Wednesday and ended around 12 noon on Thursday, leading to killing of several terrorists. The Chief Military Information Officer at headquarters of the Multinational Joint Task Force at N'Djamena, Chad, Olani Yosoba, confirmed the operation during a chat. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, says the Nigerian Army is capable of restoring peace in the country despite experiencing difficulties in its operations. Musa, who stated this during an operational tour in Borno State on Thursday, said new military hardware and air assets had been injected into the Operation Hadinkai theater to address the rising attacks on its military formations in the northeast. Trust TV's Beatrice Kuritsi has more.
The 4th operational visit is no doubt connected to the attacks on military bases in Ran, Marte, Dikwa and Gajiram, where soldiers were killed. The defense chief was at Giwa Barak for a debrief and took a look at the Amori fire outbreak site, which occurred weeks ago.
Thinking about your future, thinking about what you are doing. For anyone who wears uniform and is in the theater, we appreciate him, we commend him for all the efforts.
Thank you, sir.
Right. And then to tell you that we are making every effort to ensure that we get all we need. The president is doing his best.
Back at the Operation Hadinkai Theater Command, he had over an hour-long closed-door meeting with senior officers and the theater command. The defense chief attributed the rising attacks to security challenges in the Sahel region and assured that with new logistics and air assets, the theater will record success in its operations. He stressed that the military lacks the equipment to win the war and it's open to support from friends of Nigeria.
Actions have been taken to ensure that we address the series of attacks that is ongoing. We have seen recently the new theater commander has been brought in, other commanders to have been changed. A lot of equipments are even being brought in to the theater. Now what we realize is that if you look at the entire Sahel region, the pressure in Mali, Chad and Niger has put a lot of pressure on Nigeria, and that's why you see these recent attacks have occurred. But we are addressing that in clear terms, making it very serious that we are experienced personnel that have been here and have made that difference. Whatever is going on is just for a short while, now for this last week, and we have addressed it so drastically that it's going to stop, and henceforth there will be positive results from the theater.
With the conclusion of his engagement with the theater command, Nigerians await the result of the visit in its counter-insurgency operations across the military bases in the northeast. Beatrice Kuritsi, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Army Sector 3 operations Well-Stroke, in collaboration with troops of Operation Safe Haven, have killed 2 bandits and recovered 1,000 Russell cows in Taraba State. Acting Assistant Director, Army Public Relations Captain Oni Olubunde said in a statement he issued on Friday in Jalingo. According to him, the troops responded swiftly to a report of armed bandits mounted on approximately 30 motorcycles who had crossed from Plateau State into Taraba State. Captain Oni further stated that the criminal elements launched a cattle rustling operation targeting a Fulani settlement near Jejeb village in Karim, Lamido local government area of Taraba State. The Oyo State government has demolished some illegal structures and shanties around Jimmy Bowen Sabi for encroaching into St. Gabriel School in Ibadan. The exercise was conducted by the Oyo State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority. The report.
After several notices issued by the Oyo State government, authorities have now moved to evict occupants of a shanty located behind St. Gabriel School in the Sabo area of Ibadan by demolishing illegal structures in the vicinity. This enforcement action is in line with an executive order issued by Governor Seyi Makinde in October 2023, mandating the demolition of shanties and illegal structures situated around school premises.
Well, it's no news that the executive governor of Oyo State, President of Engineer Oluwaseyi Makinde, has given an executive order to ensure that all shanties and illegal structures around public schools across the state should be removed. And that's exactly the stance of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. So we are here with some other agencies that are involved in this. So we are very aware of this.
Despite efforts by some of the residents to salvage their belongings, only a few items could be retrieved as the demolition proceeded swiftly. Affected residents said they felt devastated by the loss of their homes and livelihoods, which they claim have been taken away by the government's action.
I feel bad because we have been in this place for more than 15 years. This is where we are working. This is where we are doing everything. And even the past government, that is APC government, during the 2019 election, they told us that if we did not vote for them, they will chase us come out from here. And everybody know that we are PDP members. We choose to vote for PDP because they did not promise us anything. But APC government passed them, they promised us that whenever they win election, they will chase us come out from here. But unfortunately, we vote for PDP, and last, it's PDP that chase us come out from here.
Chairperson of the Oyo State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority emphasized that the action was prompted by a petition which raised concerns about the shanties encroaching into St. Gabriel School in the area where sinister actions were being carried out.
2023, His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde passed a law or directed that all shanties around all schools in Oyo State be removed. And why did he do this? Because they discovered that the students were being raped inside the various schools, and other atrocities were being committed.
The action taken by the Oyo State government underscores its commitment to eliminating unsafe and unhealthy environments that pose serious security threats to both academic institutions and the state at large.
Away from that now, there was pandemonium on Thursday when fire broke out at the General Hospital in Ifako-Ijaiye, Lagos State. The fire reportedly razed parts of the facility's 3-story building, causing widespread panic among residents and hospital visitors. Videos shared on social media showed thick smoke blowing from the hospital, with onlookers calling for urgent assistance. At the time of filing this report, no casualties had been confirmed. However, eyewitnesses experienced fear that nursing mothers and their babies could be trapped inside the building. In the meantime, the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service swiftly contained the fire. The director of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Margaret Adeseye, confirmed the incident and the emergencies team's response.
Everything is this size. Come on, Ripa.
Now moving away to politics, the chairman of the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, Justice Bola Ifako-Ijaiye, has revealed that the Labour Party currently operates under 3 factions in Lagos State. The division, she noted, has complicated the Commission's ability to effectively engage with the party head for the forthcoming local government elections. Justice Ifako-Ijaiye disclosed this on Thursday during a stakeholders forum in Ikeja. She stated that LISEC is awaiting a directive from the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) on which faction of the Labour Party it should officially recognize for the July 12th polls. Despite the challenge, the LISEC chairman reaffirmed the Commission's commitment to conducting free, fair, credible and conclusive elections across the state. The Joint Association of Persons Living with Disabilities Rivers State chapter has raised the alarm over what it described as a total neglect under the ongoing emergency rule in Rivers State. At a round-table discussion organized by the TAF Africa in Port Harcourt, participants from the disability community says the absence of a democratic government has left them without representation, access or engagement. He also reiterated that the elections of their officials had been pending due to the Ministry of Social Welfare's unavailability to officiate the elections. The CEO and founder of TAF Africa, Jake Ekpele, said the current sole administration had not made a single statement on disability inclusion. He also demanded for transparency on how public funds are managed. A former chairman of Jonah PWD in Rivers State, Ki Obomanu, echoed the concern, saying the group has been abandoned. This is News Update coming to you from Trust TV. Coming up, Osun residents protest against Ibadan disco over alleged manipulation. More to come right after the break. Do stay. You're welcome. This is News Update coming to you from Trust TV. Let's take a look at our headline stories again. Military overruns terrorist enclaves in Borno, kills scores. Fire got Ifako-Ijaiye General Hospital. Now moving away from that, residents of Osun State on Thursday staged a peaceful protest in Osogbo, the state's capital, against the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company for allegedly manipulating the metering process. The protesters accused IBEDC of exploiting them and subjecting them to inhumane treatment. Hamid Oyebade reports.
The protesters stormed major streets in Osogbo in a peaceful protest against the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, IBEDC. They lamented that the company is exploiting them by manipulating the process of getting electricity meter. They also accused IBEDC officials of imposing heavy bill on them while processing new electricity meter.
The protest we are making is against the IBEDC with the way they are extorting the consumers and the way they are putting themselves as a contractor. The work they're supposed to do, they leave it aside. They are just running after the money, not considering the conveniences of the consumer they are ought to cater for.
Which kind of country are we? They are full of fraud. And I'm going to challenge them on this. I don't want to spend any amount on this on litigation against them. Even when I'm going to call security to investigate them, on this matter. If they fail to reverse this bill, I'm going to challenge them. That's the reason why I'm here, sir. You see, I have my own building too, which they bring such thing. Imagine you don't use such thing, you will be bringing so a very exorbitant bill. How do you want the people to pay for such? Now we want them to be generating account for us. Immediately the form is being submitted by a local member, Licensed Electrical Contractor Association of Nigeria.
The spokesperson of IBEDC, Kikeloma Oweye, appealed to residents with valid claims to come forward for amicable resolution.
On metering, IBEDC continues to meter customers with verified proof of payment. We encourage customers with genuine documentation to come forward and come forward with their proof of payment. Unfortunately, there have been attempts to fraudulently use a single receipt for multiple meters, which have been thoroughly investigated. So we want our customers who have issues on their long-awaited metering to, as mentioned by the licensed electrical contractor, to come forward with their evidence of payment for us to actually work on it, because people have been getting their meters. Those who have come up with their genuine evidence of payment have been getting their meters as well. And contrary to some claims, customers are not billed before connection. However, instances where electricity is used during building construction may result in billing after the customer consents to connection through the submitted form.
The residents called on the state government and federal government to intervene in the matter. Amid Ojigbade, reporting for Trust TV.
And now in business, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved a comprehensive review of public procurement threshold for ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government. The head of Public Relations Office of the Bureau of Public Procurement, BPP, Zira Naga, said in a statement that the approval, which followed the recommendations of Director General, Bureau of Public Procurement, will see contracts for work above 10 billion and 5 billion for consultancy services to go to the Federal Executive Council, FEC, for approval. The development marks a significant stride towards improving budget implementation, streamlining procurement process, and enhancing public service delivery efficiency in Nigeria's evolving economic landscape. The new move is also seen as helping to strengthen the newly introduced policy of Nigeria First, which was recently approved by the President at the Federal Executive Council in Abuja. The National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, says its target is to establish at least 1,600 ICT centers across Nigeria in the next few years as part of efforts to ensure that every Nigerian is digitally included. The Director General of NITDA, Kashifu Inwa, stated this on Thursday during the commissioning of a community ICT center facility in the Akesan area of Lagos State. Inwa disclosed that the agency has established a total of 222 ICT facilities in the last 2 years, adding that these are in 3 categories, which include equipping school facilities with ICT tools, building community ICT centers, and building ICT hubs. According to him, 18 community centers have been built so far, while 3 ICT hubs have been established. Inwa noted that President Tinubu, on assumption of office, made it clear that economic diversification and inclusivity are paramount to his administration's renewed hope agenda. Now moving on to the foreign scene, former Gabon President Ali Bongo, ousted in a coup in 2023, has flown to Angola with his wife and son, who were transferred from prison to house arrest last week. Angola's presidency confirmed in a statement posted on Facebook. African Union officials called last month for the release of Bongo's wife, Sylvia Bongo, and son, Nuruddin, who were taken into custody shortly after the August 2023 coup and accused of crimes including embezzlement and money laundering. Ali Bongo himself was initially placed under house arrest after the coup, though officials later said he was free to move as he wished. His supporters said this was untrue, but he is not known to have left Libreville since then. Their supporters have said they were tortured in custody, though coup leader Brice Oligui Nguema, now serving as president, has denied that. Iran's president on Thursday reacted to comments by Donald Trump during his visit to the region, accusing him of plundering the planet. He made the comment during a visit to the western city of Kermanshah. On Tuesday, Trump said Iranian leaders were focused on stealing their people's wealth to fund terror and bloodshed abroad. Masoud Pezeshkian said Iran was seeking peace and calm, even as his foreign minister was held for meeting with a Trump special envoy seeking to reach a nuclear deal. The U.S. and Iran brokered a nuclear deal in 2015 during Democrat Barack Obama's administration, in which Iran agreed to drastically reduce its stockpile of uranium and only enrich up to 3.67%. But that deal was scrapped during the first Trump administration. All right, and in sport, Rangers have debunked rumors that their general, Amobi Ezeaku, is on the verge of leaving the club. Speculation emerged last week that Ezeaku is considering stepping down from the role. Media director of the Flying Antelopes, Norbert Okoli, however, claimed there is no truth in the report. Ezeaku rose from the position of team manager to become Rangers general manager in 2023. The young administrator masterminded Rangers' 8th Nigerian Premier Football League title success last season. Rangers will face Kwara United in the semi-final of the President's Federation Cup at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onika, Lagos on Saturday. With that, we've come to the end of News Update here on Trust TV. Do not forget you can follow us across all our social media platforms and join our live stream on YouTube for more news, more programs, and more documentaries. My name is Lilian Ogazi. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.